Hi, my name's Kim Brown. Today is the 13th day of our 40-day Lenten reflection series. And for those of you that have been joining us on this series, all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, my mind is blown. Kim Brown has something behind her. Because up until this point, all of my Lenten reflections has been done from right over there next to my desk, in between my desk and the door, where it has been a blank wall. Now, one of my friends told me, hey, Kim, maybe you should do your reflection with something behind you besides the blank wall. Now, what I want to take time to think about is during the season of Lent, sometimes we remove some of that noise from our life. Now, what is behind me? I mean, this isn't a poster of some rock band group. It's not some beautiful painting from some French master. What's behind me are actually images of saints and things that I have collected on my pilgrimages, and things that are supposed to draw me closer to God, right? Our saints, they draw us closer to God. My pilgrimages have drawn me closer to God, or at least that is what they are supposed to do. But in the same way, we can have a lot of really awesome stuff, right? In our church, there are many prayers. There are many types of novenas, right? There are many church ministries that we can get involved in. We can listen to Catholic radio, which is a blessing to have in so many of our local areas. We can also watch Catholic television. We also have some really beautifully produced movies about our saints and about our faith. And so we have all this stuff that we're able to reach out to. We even have books and we have CDs. We have all this stuff. There's Christian music, right? There's recording artists that are trying to make songs to praise and glorify God. And all this is good. But sometimes all of that can be too much noise, and all of a sudden it distracts us from our message. And so what I want us to think about, and what I want us to be intentional about during the Lenten season, is not allowing ourselves to get distracted. We can get so caught up in the fast that we forget the purpose of the fast. We can get so caught up in doing spiritual reading that we're just trying to read and process because we said we're going to read a book a day or a chapter a day, and we didn't do it, and it's late at night, and we're trying to get through it so fast that we miss the spiritual realities that the book is trying to share for us. So what I want you guys to do is not get caught up in the noise, not to get caught up in the distractions. I know some of you might even be like, who's that saint on the wall there? I recognize JP too, and St. Teresa of St. Teresa of Avila, but who's that other saint? And you're maybe getting distracted from the message because of all the noise that's happening behind me. So what I want to encourage you to do is to take an opportunity to spend some time in silence, to cut out the noise and just to be with God. Maybe that means turning off that Christian music. Maybe it means instead of doing that spiritual reading, you're going to give that same amount of time, but just to be in silence with God. Cut away from the noise. Now, that doesn't mean that spiritual reading, that Christian music, is bad. All it means is sometimes we can get so focused on that we miss the reality and what it's supposed to be pointing us to. Sometimes we can get so caught up in a saint, we forget that the saint is supposed to be showing us the way to Christ, not the way to the saint themselves, right? And so any devotion of a saint should be leading us to devotion and love of Jesus Christ, because that saint would be mortified to find out that you have such a love for them and you don't have a higher love for God. So let us work on cutting out noise. Let us work on cutting out distractions, and let us draw closer to God. And recognize noise and distractions don't always come from evil places. Sometimes they can come from good things, but sometimes those good things can prevent you from the great things that God desires for you. God is love. Let the kingdom know.